YouTube frogs, so you guys may or may not know that 3.3 Genshin released a card game, Genius Invocation TCG. At the time of this recording, it's been about a week or so, and after finishing working on the new patch and guide content for Wanderer and Farazan, I found some time to dabble. And honestly, it's sometimes hard to put down. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be walking through the basic details in this video. I'm just giving some highlights on a card deck that I've been enjoying using. If you'd like to see more Genshin TCG in the future, leave a like on this video or let me know in the comments. Testing the waters with this one. So you guys know that I like KEQING. It's my YouTube profile picture, it's my first main, etc. Genshin TCG has allowed me to bring her back as my main in cards. So this deck right here is called Electro Goat. It's a Superconduct deck. It's centered around 3 characters, KEQING, Ganyu, and Fischl. So Superconduct in TCG is one of 2 AOE centered reactions, the other being electrocharged. If the opponent has electro or cryo applied on them, dealing cryo or electro damage will deal +1 on the main hit, and +1 AOE piercing damage to their standby characters. Piercing refers to non-elemental additional damage. So the idea behind this deck is consistent AOE piercing damage and opening up opportunities to all in with KEQING. So KEQING herself is a quick swap character. Her elemental skill leaves behind a 3 electro cost card that can be used even when she's on standby for an immediate swap in. Ganyu aims to set up her elemental burst, which deals end of round cryo damage to the active character and AoE piercing to all standby characters. She also acts as a stall character with her elemental skill and is the only card in the game with a special 5 cost charge shot, dealing AoE damage to all enemies reminiscent of her ability in game. Fischl enables double electro cards and is also a setup for Oz with her elemental skill for end of the round electro. She's also a mini version of KEQING, dealing AoE damage on her burst. Okay, so I'm by no means an expert. I've just been trying to find cards that work with KEQING, and I've been liking this one so far. So here's an explanation of my deck build before some matches to showcase the versatility of this deck. It's not perfect, and modifications are always welcome, and I'll give my notes on how I felt with certain cards. So the first 2 cards here are KEQING's signature elemental skill card, which is a stronger version of her base 3-cost skill ability. I have 1 sacrificial sword and 1 gambler's earring as extras for enhanced KEQING damage and improved all-in ability. Don't need more than that. I don't need these to win in most of the cases. The idea behind these 2 is increased dice generation for more actions per round in the endgame state when KEQING is my last one standing. I have 2 Jade Chambers for guaranteed dice rolls. Feels really valuable early on to ensure skill usage throughout the whole game, and even is useful in rounds 1 and 2. 2 3-cost Paimons for Omni dice generation over 2 rounds, best used within the first 2 rounds, otherwise I use it as tuning cards. 2 Timmies and 2 Liebens for 0-cost card draw and Omni dice generation. 2 Parametric Transformers for random dice generation, useful for extra normal attacks on longer rounds, but sometimes I feel like because it's so RNG, it's not that useful. I prefer using this on rounds 2 and forward, not on round 1, because usually I'll end my turn before I get this active, and the enemy can proc it and I lose my dice. We have both of the Electro Resonance cards. The 0 cost provides 1 Electro dice, and the 1 cost provides 1 energy to one of my characters about maximum, which is the active character prioritized. Usually it'll be on KEQING, but sometimes on Fischl if she's the one carrying the fight. 2 2-cost Paimons for free conversion of dice to Omni, and then 2 pairings of these swap cards. We have Changing Shifts, and we have Leave It To Me. So Leave It To Me allows your swap to be a fast action. Changing Shifts reduce the cost from 1 to 0. The combination of these 2 is a free fast swap. So while these are incredibly strong for certain matchups, the requirement of having both cards for max value is a little expensive. There's also an alternative card called Catherine. Catherine right here, which is a 2-cost, but it's a support card, and it's infinite. You can do it once per round. So I've been thinking maybe I can just drop all of those 4 cards and use Catherine instead, but sometimes those have been really useful in getting priority in turn, so I let them be. I have 1 Ito if the fight lasts long enough. It's very worth it in the right situations, and it's only 1 deck slot. Replaceable card. 1 Star Sign for extra energy, haven't gained too much value out of it recently, and then 1 Send Off. It's for really annoying summons, also a replaceable card. And finally, 1 Mondstadt Hash Brown for healing, also replaceable. So this is my current layout. Been enjoying it a lot. Here's a highlight of some of my matches. Alright, so for this first one, I am up against Mona, Kale, and Diona. Mostly Bloom and Freeze potentially. Depending on my layout of cards, we'll see what we send out first. So my opponent starts first here. Does change things depending on the situation. Okay, so this is my starting hand. What I'm thinking about here is I have Thundering Penance. The left card here is KEQING's signature card. So I can do something super aggressive here. And I'm going to keep the rightmost card, which is Kokomi's draw card. It's called Strategize. I'm going to be swapping out the middle, and I think that's it. I want to guarantee that I have Electro Dice to use the left card. So I'm going to keep the 2-cost Paimon, keep Gambler's Earring, and go super aggressive this route. Okay, so my final decision here is I just swapped out the energy generation. I decided to keep Thundering Penance, keep Gamblers, keep the Paimon card, and keep the Kokomi card for draw. Didn't really get a good card there, but that's okay.
Let's go.
We're going super aggro with the Thundering Penance, so I use KEQING as my main card. Active character, sorry. Alright, so our dice look very bad here, so we're going to reroll all of it, hoping we get some Electro pieces, and that's a beauty. 4 Omni dice and 1 Electro. Okay, that's standard. Mona's using her elemental skill. We go directly for a KEQING. I'm thinking about using Gamblers right now, but I want to make sure I have enough energy. So I first do this. I'm 100% using this card, no matter what happens. I'm going to first use this card, and depending on the enemy's actions, I'll decide what other cards to use. Because all the cards in my hand are fast action cards, which means they don't cost a turn. So I could essentially use all of them if I needed to, and then end my turn, I still go first. Okay, so the Dawn Wanderer card that they're playing here is basically a once per round. They can switch character, costs 0. It's not a fast action, so it still costs a turn, but it enables them once per round. So they're doing this combo. This combo is actually quite nice. So one of Mona's passives is that a swap when Mona's the active character automatically counts as a fast action. So with Dawn Winery and Mona passive, they're able to get an instant 0-cost fast swap to Kale. And if you guys can see on the left-hand side, those numbers mean how much energy is left. So they only have 1 energy left, which means they are limited in the actions that they can take. They aren't able to use their elemental skill, and they're ending their turn here. I still have 5 energy. You can see on the top right. I have 2 Omni dice, 2 Power dice, and 1 Anemo dice. So here I decided to draw. And I get Timmy's Pigeons, which is an immediate turn 1 play. Also get another card draw, which I use. And I get another Timmy's Pigeons. Play that. And then my final action, I still have 3 dice left. So I decide to play the Parametric Transformer early. This will prepare for round 2 since I have extra energy. And then my last action, I think I swap.
In the name of the princesses.
So the reason why I'm swapping to Fischl here is because I want to get Fischl's Oz out. Okay, so what I just got in my hand, that 1-cost card, was Jade Chamber. Now I can start to guarantee some dice rolls, and it'll be really, really nice. Looking for more Electro cards here. We've got 2 Omni. Rerolling everything else. And we unfortunately do not get any Electro dice. So I might need to use my Paimon here. They switch to Mona, cost them a turn. So I have 8 energy here. I immediately play Jade Chamber, even though it's not useful immediately. I do not have any other support cards, so we're good. At the extra energy, you go use Gamblers. Using Paimon. This is to guarantee Fischl's Oz. And then Parametric Transformer starts to activate here. So they also use their ability. I get 1 more proc on my Parametric, which is nice. And I don't really have much to do here. So I end up just normal attacking. In case they want to do 1 more ability. If they do 1 more ability, then my Parametric does proc, and I can see if I use any more energy, any more dice. But they don't. So they decide to waste 4 of their dice, and for me, I have nothing to do but to end my turn. Alright, so we get an Electro Dice generation. We also get an extra of KEQING's ability, which is essentially a waste right now. Jade Chamber allows us to get 2 guaranteed Electro Dice here. So we have 4 now. and we get 2 more. So we're looking at 6. We get a Paimon ourselves. Both of our Timmy's procs, we get a little more extra energy. Sacrificial Sword is also here for KEQING. So we could start to get a really buffed up KEQING now. So I decide to first guarantee my Sacrificial Sword on KEQING. Pretty sure this is what I do. I switch immediately to KEQING. I get 1 extra energy due to Sacrificial Sword. And I have 8 energy left. So they switch to Diona here. I'm worried that they're going to freeze me. So I decide to do maximum damage. I'm pretty sure I use my character card here again. I'm trying to think how to maximize damage output here. Because I'm able to do 5 with my elemental skill. Oh, no. So I see what I said I had to do. So what I decided to do is I decide to normal attack here. Yes. So I decided to normal attack here because that means I can burst afterwards. My burst is a guaranteed kill on Diona. They end their turn. They have 6 energy. And watch this. So I'm able to burst here. All right. I kill Diona here. My Gambler's procs for extra energy. And then I have 2 extra energy. I'm able to normal attack kill Mona. Then my Gambler's procs again, giving me 2 more energy. And then I have dice generation in my hand for an extra auto for a 1-turn kill. I totally forgot that I just wiped them out from here. With all that energy, with all that dice generation and Gamblers and Sacrificial Sword, I had perfect dice to kill them straight up. Okay, so next up, a Kaya Diluc team with Xingqiu. So it's a mixture of freeze and vaporize and melt damage. My starting hand, I'm starting first. I definitely want to keep Lieben here. I definitely want Jade Chamber here. I'm swapping out Parametric because it's too early and all the other 2 cards. So I get Timmy, Lieben, Jade Chamber. Very low cost card. We don't have Thundering Pendant, so I start with Fischl. And my dice don't look the greatest. 2 more Omni generation. We got really lucky with this. Getting 3 more Omnis here is really, really lucky. So we're going to set up Timmy. We're going to set up Lieben. And I'm going to leave my Jade Chamber in case I want to look out for energy later. So first, definitely summoning Oz no matter what. 5 energy left. So they set up healing. They use their elemental skill. They have 3 energy left. I decide to Jade Chamber here. And I decide to switch to Ganyu. So here, I could end my turn and get 3 Lieben stacks. Depends on what they do. However, I changed my mind after they go a little bit more aggressive. So they tuned both of their cards to do double elemental skill. So what I did instead was I tuned one of my cards to guarantee Superconduct and get a shield off. This may or may not have been the best play, but given their aggro, I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of defensive capability from Ice Lotus. So they're going first here. I get guaranteed Ganyu dice from the Jade Chamber. So I'll be able to guarantee burst next time. They do want to activate their burst here, so they're not going to be able to swap out, which means that my Ganyu can for sure get her burst off. In my hand also is the Electro Resonance card, which is a 1-cost card. It gives me 1 extra energy. So they're not going to know that unless they play around that I have Electro Resonance, which means that I can immediately burst on turn 1 or on first action. So these are really good dice. So I can Ganyu here and then switch. So they use that. That's Favonius Library, I think. It re-rolls your dice. They're trying to get Kaya's burst off. I'm going super aggressive because I do have 5 cryo. Okay, so that's expected. They do use a burst. Now for me, either I energy for my burst or I go super aggro. Okay, what am I doing here? I decide to go the more non-aggro part, which is gain my burst and guarantee this. This does quite a nice amount of damage with Super Conduct. It usually does 1-1-1, but because I have Super Conduct, I do extra 1 AOE. So now I have both of my turrets up. My Lieben, I think, might be wasted this game. We'll see. Lieben's really nice to get off. It's worth it sometimes to sacrifice 3 dice for it. Okay, so they have 0 energy left. They have 0 dice left. I still have 4. Yeah, so I'm thinking about Lieben right now. And if I want all 3 card procs, I could also sacrifice Ganyu. Doesn't really matter.
Let's go. Time is against us.
Oh, okay. So this is what I do. So what I did there, and I remember this. I used my fast action. I switched to KEQING, use 1 dice. And then I end my turn, guaranteeing Lieben goes off next turn, but also guaranteeing that I go first. If I did not use the fast action card, I would have wasted a turn and given them turn advantage. But now that I have turn advantage, I'm going first. So those 3 dice will be collected by Lieben. I'll get full 3 stacks. My turrets will proc. Ganyu will be doing an extra 1. And I'm focused on going all in with KEQING on this turn. Timmy's going to proc and Lieben's going to proc. So I'm getting an extra 3 Omni energy from them. So I'll have 11 total here. I want as much Electro as possible. KEQING's going all in. Okay. So we have our Thundering Penance card. We have 11 total dice. I'm on KEQING right now. I'm thinking about what I want to do. I think we're guaranteed first signature card. All we need 3 more energy for her second card. 1 energy to guarantee burst and 4 energy to burst. So I have exactly enough energy I have exactly enough dice in my hand to do a full kill here on Diluc. I'm thinking about what I want to do because it also depends on the player, the opponent, and what they want to do. Because I can kill them this turn. I want to kill them this turn. My Thundering Penance gives me +1 electro damage as well. Okay, so I'm doing this for sure. Diluc is dead. Now I have 2 out of 3 energy. They're choosing a character. Now they choose Xingqiu here. I get taken down to 3. It's their turn. Okay, so here is a huge misplay. Here's a huge misplay, right? So the thing about Xingqiu is that when he uses his elemental skill in TCG, he applies Hydro to himself. Okay, but this also guarantees that I get the victory. Because now, if I use Burst on Xingqiu, not only am I doing extra damage because of my penance, I also deal Electro Charge damage. Electro Charge damage increases +1 for AoE. You can see here, it's perfect. You'll 5 Electro damage here. All I need is activate this and then tune the rest of my hand. So we have to use the Omni here because it has to be Electro. So I'm going to use this. It'll change my 4 dice, but I have 4 cards in my hand. I tuned them all and I win. This was actually kind of insane. Perfect dice to win. So now I tune my entire hand and we burst and we finish them. If they did not Xingqiu elemental skill here, I would have taken 1 more turn, but I was able to kill them 1 turn early here.
Nowhere to hide.
Perfect kill. All right, so what you see on the enemy team here, this is a classic aggravate quicken deck. Official Kali KEQING, if they get the right setup, is really, really strong. So I am prepared to make the best decisions possible for this one because this could be a really tough matchup. Okay, so I'm starting first. And this is what my card layout looks like. So Jade Chamber is for sure staying. I want Jade Chamber for guaranteed dice rolls in all of my future turns. Paimon is looking pretty good here. So I think I decide to just swap out the Ito card on number 4 and send off on number 5 and keep the 2 Paimons. Oh, no. Okay. So what I decided to do here is I guarantee the Jade Chamber. I guarantee Paimon for dice generation in my next 2 turns. I want to keep a send off Keeping this send off is to remove one of their summon abilities. It could either be Kale's Burst or it could be Fischl's Oz. Either one. I decided to swap out the Paimon in the middle, which guarantees certain dice, for more of a passive round 1. Don't get that good cards though. Leading with Fischl here. We don't have Thundering Penance.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Okay, we got 2 Omni. We just need 1 more Electro for Fischl's ability. And we don't get it. Which hurts. So, what I opt to do here is I do not opt for Fischl's Elemental Skill. I definitely want to Paimon. We have 2 Anemo and 1 Omni, which is what we're going to use here for Paimon. I also want a Jade Chamber. And then my final move, I just normal attack with Fischl. I don't have anything else to do. It's not worth the tune. See, I'm thinking if I want to tune, but I'm pretty sure I just normal attack. So just unfortunate. That's how the dice are. Sometimes you don't get what you need. All right, so they're using Favonius. I've been seeing a lot of people use the Favonius Knights. I feel like the dice rerolling is too RNG, so I opt not to use it. Setting up Lieben. These are standard start cards. They also set up a big Paimon. They are tuning 2 normal attacks, so they also had very bad dice. All right, my turn. So what I decided to do, I immediately end my round. There's no point in swapping to Ganyu. I don't have Oz out, and I want first turn. Okay, Timmy, we need to immediately activate or else it becomes useless. And Jade Chamber gives us 2 Electro, 1 Omni, and 1 more Electro. And then my last rolls are all dead. So with Paimon, I get 2 extra Omni dice. We're summoning Timmy first. We have a very passive hand here. So I'm first setting up Oz. We have a passive hand here, but we have lots of dice. So they're sending off my Oz immediately, which I think is a misplay because it's not like super necessary. Ganyu's burst is more important. I feel like that send off was a waste, or maybe they had nothing else to do. I think what I do here is instead of using Ganyu, I just summon Oz again. And then I switch to Ganyu. Because I notice I have a fast swap in my hand. That's what I do. Okay. Yeah, so I switch to Ganyu here, and then I normal attack with Ganyu for energy generation. So my hand right now is 2 0-card cost dice generation for Electros, my Electro Resonance. The Noelle card is a fast swap, still costs 1 dice. And the rightmost card is Send Off, which costs 2 but removes a summon, which are the right-hand Oz things. I just normal attack here. And I am going to use Noelle's card, I think. It's either I use the card to prep it for later, because I can use this card and still save it. Nope, I decide to save it. Okay. Okay, my next 2 cards. So now I have the combo. I have the swap combo. My 3rd and 4th card of the swap combo. And then I have Hash Brown for health. Okay, so we can guarantee... Let's see what else we get. Okay, so just get 4 cryo. Paimon is going to generate 2 more Omni dice here. So I think what I probably end up doing here is go super aggro and just use my charge shot to kill. She's going to burst for sure. There's no way she doesn't burst. Yeah, I think I go aggro here. So they decide to swap without using Fischl, which I think is a big mistake. Because what I can do... So what I do here, right, is I have Fischl's burst ready, which will instant kill. So what I aim to do here, I skip Ganyu's burst, and I do an immediate fast swap to Fischl, and waste and basically KO their Fischl so it can't burst. So we switch to Fischl here, and then we use Midnight Phantasmagoria. Superconduct deals 1 extra AOE, and we kill Fischl. And now they're sad. They're guaranteed to be sad now.
One
They did not expect that. Okay, official die. She did her job. So I have extra energy here. So I decided to just heal up Ganyu and end turn as fast as possible. I'm deciding to sacrifice official. My other three don't matter. They used their burst. Expected. Official's dead. And here's where I'm a little sad. So I want to use send off, but I already ended my turn. So I'm forced to take extra damage here, which is a mistake. So this send off is it's situationally fine. But a lot of time I haven't really found how to use it properly. Okay, so the 3 cryo guarantees Ganyu burst. I want to keep the electro because I'm going to need a KEQING next. I have 2 extra dice generation in my hand. Timmy's giving me 1 extra card. The Lehman is absolutely useless this late in the game. So before I die, I think I'm going Rambo here. Yeah. Okay, so I go Rambo here just to make sure I kill Kale. So there's no risk. KEQING was going to kill Ganyu. It's expected. Yeah, so I went a little bit more aggressive. I think the aggressive route is what made me eke out the win here, because I wanted to make sure that they waste their stuff. Remember, we killed Fischl before she was able to get off her burst. Kale was killed before she was able to get off a free elemental skill. I want to use 1 dice here. Oh, that's right. I can just kill here. So these 2 dice generate me 2 electro dice. So I actually have 6 in total, which allows me to elemental skill. And if they can't kill me here... Oh, wait. No. They healed up. Okay, so they healed up. This is the same thought process I had in the game, which is kind of funny because I'm doing a voiceover right now. Is this was a really close fight, So they healed up for me to be out of range, and they would have killed me, but send off does save me, right? So I'm noticing that they have still Kale's ability. Kale's ability would guarantee that I lose. So the only choice that I have here is, instead of using my abilities, I have to send off. Right, I have to survive this turn. So I send off and then I go first. So now they lose that extra damage. They would have been able to win because I wouldn't have been able to one-shot. But now I can live 2 hits. The send off did save me the win here. All of these cards are used for tuning in case I don't get Electro. J-Chamber gives me guaranteed 2. All right, so we are drawing cards because I wanted to see if I could get a free burst, but I can't. So what I simply do, this is to guarantee the victory, by the way. If I get my burst, I guarantee that I win. If I don't, then I have to hope that they don't have Electro Resistance, because they also have double Electro. If they have double Electro, then I lose, because if they are able to double Electro and get their burst off, then I take 6. So I'm thinking about what to do here, and the only move that I have is just to do 2 elemental skills worth and tune my whole hand. And if they have it, they have it. I'm just sitting here hoping that they don't have it. Thankfully, they don't. And so we win. They do 4 damage here. I get that. I just normal attack and I win. Close. Very close fight. Okay, and the final match is none other than a mirror matchup. They have card skins though. So both of us are Superconduct, KEQING Ganyu combo. Our layouts are almost identical. Let's see how this one plays out. I end up going first, and I have Jade Chamber Lieben, which is a great start. I swap out the 3rd and the 4th card because I want to keep Kokomi for draw. And we have a useless Ito and a situationally good Gamblers. We're starting with Fischl because we don't have any super aggro KEQING, and we're looking to set up. And probably one of the weirdest dice rolls I've had. 5 Anemo. I'm checking if I have Paimon. If I don't have Paimon, then I'm rerolling all of these. If I did have the 3 cost Paimon, I would keep 3 Anemo. And that is so much better. Got very lucky with the 2 Omni, 1 Electro there. We definitely want to... So I first do strategize just to see what other cards that I get. I don't get anything super interesting. So we're going to J-Chamber. I pause here because I'm debating if I want to free switch into KEQING. But that is not a smart move. It would waste a turn. So I am going to leave in. I'm going to J-Chamber. And I'm going to Elemental Skill. I want to go first as soon as possible here. And also notice that I want Lieben's value as much as possible. There's not much I could do with the rest of my energy. I have 3 energy. I already have Oz set up. Those 3 energy would be perfect to proc Lieben on round 2. There's nothing else in my hand. I can't switch to KEQING. I don't want to tune. Gamblers is not worth it to use here. So what I'm pretty sure I do here is to guarantee first turn and full Lieben value. I just end my turn with 3 energy. Oh, sorry. I do a free switch first because I notice that they have 5 energy left, so they probably want to do an additional action. The reason why I switched to Ganyu and why it's super important is because Jade Chamber guarantees my dice rolls. So with the Ganyu switchover that costs less dice, I can guarantee cryo dice for Ganyu's next rotation. If I need to be super aggressive, I can be super aggressive. And they decide to switch to Ganyu. Doesn't affect me. I still get to go first. And Oz will still proc Electro on Ganyu. They decide to use all their energy, which is fine. I'm not wasting any. And now we have a very wealthy round 2. Get 2 more cards, 2 more Omni dice. The 2 cards that I get, a Parametric Transformer and another of KEQING's. That's a little bit of a waste, so I would use that for tuning if I need to. And look at that! We get 4 Cryo dice and 1 Omni dice. And we get 1 more Cryo dice here and 2 Geo. So, if I wanted to, I could have 2 Ganyu bursts. I mean, 2 Ganyu charge shots. I'm going to charge shot here for massive aggro. It's 9 total damage to the entire team. It's a huge value. 5 charge shot for 9 on round 2 is extremely strong. So, here's a misplay, and I think you guys will probably notice it. I was thinking that I wanted to double charge shot, but I thought later that it's so little value now, right? I would do way less damage. Instead of doing 9, I'm doing just 5. So I should have parametricked on my first action to guarantee 2 procs. Because I would have gotten 1 proc for the charge shot, and I would have gotten 1 proc for their opponent Ganyu. This is a misplay, and I definitely waste energy here. I should have parametric that first round. Then I would have gotten extra energy here. But it's okay. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. So that misplay cost me potentially an immediate Ganyu burst here. Because if I got Cryo and other 2 elemental dice from my parametric, I could use the 2 cost Paimon in my hand. And then I could Ganyu burst right now before I end a turn and would have ended the game faster. So just little things to learn about like timing and stuff. I was a little bit ambitious thinking I could double charge shot, so it is wise that learning from that. So they set up both of their stuff here. So I'm taking 2 damage every single turn due to the AOE. I immediately end my round, I have nothing to do. And I'm looking to win out in the next round. No, I'm not winning out in the next round, sorry. So they switched to KEQING. I already ended my turn. Depending on my level of dice here, I could be super aggressive. There, I take 6 total damage on my team. I do have a send-off. I can send off one of their things. Also have a hash brown for additional healing. Ganyu can be sacrificed at this point. I just want to get her burst off and switch off. 2 Omni, 1 Electro is perfect. Alright, so immediate Ganyu burst. I get free Superconduct. My parametric procs, I get another Electro dice. They have 445 HP. So from this point forward, here's what I'm thinking. And I can win from this spot, from this turn. So I want to sacrifice my Ganyu because you notice that I have an Ito in my hand. Ito, if someone dies, you can use the card at 0 cost to gain 1 active energy and 1 Omni Dice. So what I'm planning to do here is I'm going to switch to Fischl, who's already 2 energy away from bursting. My burst will deal more AoE damage, so I can summon Oz, I can Ito, and I can burst all in the same turn. If they don't prepare, then they lose straight up. So, instead of Fischl, we're going to KEQING. In order to ensure that KEQING lives, I hash brown here. I do have extra energy to do my full combo. All I need is 7 total energy. So I do have Ito here. So I don't want to use Ito immediately because that gives away way too much information. I want to use Ito right before I can immediately burst and catch them off guard. So now that I have both my summons available, perfect dice count, by the way. Fischl's burst costs 3. I'm going to use Ito off 5 dice. And then I can also use Send Off for just that extra little rub in the wound. So they're tuning right now. So I'm at 3 HP. If I didn't hash brown, I'd be at 1 HP to be really scared. It's all good. So we Ito here. We gain that extra energy. We gain that extra dice. I use Paimon to switch over to 3 Electro. I use Phantasmagoria. And we have a perfect setup. Now they're both at 2 HP and they cannot escape my 2 off-field summons, right? I have Ganyu's Burst and I have Fischl's Oz. They're going to kill next turn. Now they still do have 2 energy left. And if they want to try something cheeky with their own summons as well, I'm going to send off one of them and just win. So I don't have enough energy to attack. And that's it. Because they ended a round, all I need to do... This is extra. I don't need to send off here, but I just do it to rub salt in the wound. If I end my turn, I just win. There it is. Clean victory. And those are the 4 TCG games. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want to see more TCG content. I'm always down to do it. I want to play a little bit more before I'm comfortable making any sort of guides on it, because honestly, there's people that have been playing a lot more time, and I'm not a super big expert. So I'm gonna keep grinding a little bit, see how it goes. I'll continue my other content as well. But as always, thank you guys very much for watching my content. Appreciate you all. We'll see you next time. Take care.